Nah, because let me tell you why. I need work-life balance. And this right here is work, and I'm getting my balance.
Hold on, is that you going crazy?
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance.
Gotta have it. There's no other way.
Yeah.
I think, from my standpoint, I guess earlier in my career, I didn't really understand work-life balance.
I was
what it
ass
really
at
was,
it.
right?
I was ass.
Right. But my thing is, though, I think as your life changes, lessons changes, seasons change, add another kid, get married, whatever happens, responsibilities change. And you slowly start to understand work-life balance and how important it is, right? And I think it's our generation more so understands it better or sooner than other generations. I don't know if y'all agree with me on that or not, but
Yeah.
Maybe.
maybe. Okay.
I think it depends on who you're around.
I agree with that because
Yeah, I think we identified earlier.
back in the day it was work. Like
Right.
It's
my
still
dad
like
was
that for a lot of people, though.
I barely see
It
my dad
is.
when he was living, but
Right.
when I did see him, it was lessons.
Right.
So he was always working. Like my family always worked. So when you always working, it's hard to be around.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a bunch of family time.
Right.
So, although I seen that, I try to incorporate a little bit more of the family time. Just
Right.
because you working like 8 hours a day. You come home, it's 5:36. You got 2 hours for his bedtime. Like
And then you wake up and do it again.
you wake up, do it again.
That's where it hurt for me.
That's
I
where it
gotta
hurt.
wake up and do it again.
Right.
Like you have to.
Knows, right?
Right. You have to. There's no choice. Nobody else can do it.
You ain't got no choice.
But meanwhile, the phone's still ringing. You're still getting messages. You're still getting emails.
Yep.
So at some point, you have to be like, okay, how do you draw the line? When do you create that barrier? What is that barrier for you? And how do you maximize your time? Like me and Rail were talking about. Like Rail wakes up 5:30 in the morning and go work out, right? If Rail waited till he got off work to go work out, he's not gonna have no work-life balance, right?
Because I up at 5:30.
Exactly. That's why you got to get up at 5:30, because he's gonna take time after work to work on himself, when that's the limited time that you have to be with your family. Right? So, you asked a question like, why you have to edit that one out.
Nah. Don't look at me. Nah.
You got to cut that
We're
one.
gonna keep that.
We're going to keep that.
Yeah.
All right.
Expose it.
All right. Let me,
The whiskey sours.
Why?
Nah, so you asked why people have taken remote positions, right? So why don't people want to go back to work? Why don't they want to go back to an office setting, right? It's because of work-life balance, People have been able to still, take care of their families, still provide for their families, get an income, advance in their careers, and still be home and be present.
But it took a pandemic for people to recognize.
Thank you.
Go.
Took
There
a
you
whole
go.
pandemic for people
I
to
was gonna
recognize
go
it.
to that. I was gonna go to
And I'm telling you, you're right.
Yeah, bro.
But you ask yourself, if we didn't have the pandemic, where would we be, mentally?
You just operate.
Still operating?
the same way.
You don't
Still in the
realize.
same-
I guess you're maybe depressed from the job or something like that, or just trying to be in a better situation, whatever the case may be. But you can't even think it because
Right.
you have to stick to that routine. It's very tight, and they gotta understand some people commute 2 hours, 3 hours a day.
Right.
Man,
Aside from the 8-hour drive.
Aside from that drive. So really, it's truly, important. You have to be able to have that. But I think, you have to, if you say work-life balance, you can't just say that. If you, are a business, or organization or whatever, you have work-life balance, it's great. It's a great idea. It's a great policy, but you gotta have some barriers to it. You gotta have some details. You gotta have some, it's gotta have some framework, because it can also be negative, because ultimately if I know like, I got work-life balance, I can, take time off, I can be away or whatever, whenever I need to, whenever I feel like it's right. But then it's like, if I can't see it, like, I got a pool of PTO, right? Like I got 14 days I got to use. I can't see it. I'm not really more gonna want to use it, right?
Do you truly know what it is though? Like, how do you get it without PTO?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's like you can't rely on PTO for work. Like, there's not a lot of PTO. So like, what does that look like?
In a year?
But if you say, okay, you have unlimited PTO, how is that? Like, how can you even define it?
You know what? Why do we need to stick to the Monday through Friday work schedule? Like work schedule?
I don't think
Well,
you
you gotta ask Henry Ford about that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm getting that.
Yeah, okay, cause
I wasn't asking Henry about that.
I swear you did.
Why?
You got to ask.
Why we gotta stick to that? Why can't we get that Monday off? I think people will be
Or
more,
Friday. Or that Friday.
that too.
Or that Wednesday.
Well,
That-
I'm saying more so for like, I don't know, 3-day weekend.
Dude, bro.
I mean, so I think the pandemic made people think outside the box, right? And companies that, if you say, okay, my company's going to progress if I invest in the younger generation. What are some things that can entice the younger generation? That type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Why does my work week have to be Monday through Friday?
There was a employer that did that.
Yeah.
That I think he cut off a day, and he saw his productivity from
Yeah.
his employees skyrocket.
Yeah, cut off a day. You maybe increase the hours by 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
right? And you cut off a day.
Yep.
And then you go, instead of working Monday through Friday, you work Monday through Thursday,
Yep.
right? 10-hour shifts versus 8-hour shifts.
You know what that does to your employee mentally?
Yeah, mentally. So look, my sister-in-law has a company. It's called Skiptown. They actually they have a thing where they make their employees take time off. So like I forgot how many days it is, or how many days a month or quarterly or whatever. But it's like they make them go take. So like if you got doctor's appointments, you get take your child to the doctor, want to get your hair done, whatever. They make you take that time off,
That's
and
important.
they pay you for it.
That's important.
Yeah.
Because
So like
a weekend is just a weekend, but like some of that stuff ain't over the weekend.
Right.
Like you ain't gonna no.
But I mean, you have motivated people within our profession or within our generation that are so motivated and dedicated to their organizations, their craft. They're going to stay up to 11, 12 o'clock at night. They're going to bust their tail. They're going to do it, right? Yeah. And sometimes they need to be told, like, you need to take a break.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. Take a break.
I'm notorious for laying in the bed, waking up 3 o'clock in the morning, and say, let me check my email, see what I'm getting into.
Exactly.
Before I know it, I'm 30 minutes in. I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Which
getting
is now
upset as I'm reading. I'm
Right.
like, man, I need to chill.
It's a task now.
I need to.
So now it's a task. Because
Right.
like you shouldn't be checking your emails more than like 3 times a day, really.
Shouldn't be.
Check it in the morning, see if there's anything important. I'm not checking it again until like noon, maybe.
I mean, I think it all depends on your profession too, and what you do.
Well,
With me,
it
that's
does.
that's kind of like PTSD with me. Like, I'm so used to getting email after email after email. I have a response time.
Well, that's different, yeah.
So it's just like, I need to check it. Like I'm checking it while driving.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
on the
that.
job site, checking it.
Right.
It's
Please
I mean,
don't
I
take
think it creates that though. I mean,
Yeah.
and the demand for, always being on top, always growing, always being the best of the best, or whatever you're doing, is gonna, create that drive where you're like, okay, I always got to check my email, or I always got to take this phone call, and ultimately you don't really understand what it does to you or your family and your thinking. You really don't have that disconnect that you should have. But I think, for us to all be sound people and continue to grow ourselves, we got to be able to, one, invest time in ourselves, right? Whatever that is, whether it's playing golf, smoking meat,
Tagline.
tagline, smoking meat, or spending time with your family, working out, those type of things. You have to make that a priority, right? And then whatever else falls in play from there. And if you are blessed to be a part of an organization that understands that, then you are, you're fortunate, and it's something to build on and invest in.
Mental health days are important.
They are.
They are very,
They are very
important and vital
Yeah, they are.
to your sanity.
They are.
I
They are,
promise
man.
you.
know.
I've taken a couple of those, and I just
have
lay there. I don't check
have
my
to.
email. I don't respond to nobody. I just sit there.
But is that a PTO day?
That's a good question.
It's crazy. Cause see, like, it shouldn't be revolved around PTO. Like, you could be an entrepreneur and you still have to have work life balance.
I feel like my PTO is unlimited because I rarely take time off.
So it ain't. You
I
just can't.
I do like if I take time off, it's rarely for me. I'll say that.
But you feel like you can't take it off? You feel like you can't?
I'd rather not.
So do you feel like you can take off every Friday?
I know I can't take off every Friday.
So you can
I can't take off every Friday.
every other Friday.
So do you feel like it can be flexible? Oh, go ahead. Every other Friday.
Nah, you can't.
What about your like?
I feel like
flexibility?
if I did that,
Exactly.
I'd have to make it up on the back end.
Right.
That's more on you. Oh, nah.
I'd have
See?
to
That's
make it
more
up.
on you.
I'd have to make it up on the back end.
So you don't have unlimited PTO.
No, I don't have a limit PTO, but I use like I don't use a lot of it. So when I do use it, I don't have to worry about like how many I got. So
I don't know. I think work-life balance is not allowing work to take over your life fully.
Yeah.
Knowing when to shut it down,
Know when to shut it down.
Yeah.
setting boundaries, letting them know what your boundaries are, setting the priorities. Like, no, look, my family's my priority. At this time, I'm shutting it down. You can't reach me.
Unless you own a business.
Well,
Yeah.
unless you own, but here's the
different.
thing, though.
But even if you own a business,
Even if you own a business, you still have to have it. Look, it's
Yeah.
your business.
it's called productivity.
It's
It is.
Listen, it's still your business.
But most business owners ain't even. They don't care about day off. They so goal driven and focused. It's just like
well,
whatever.
that's
it's mine.
true, but
you
you also have to consult with your family on like if there's a time period.
Yeah.
Cool, but you still have work-life balance between that time as well.
you should. I
You
agree.
could take off a couple of days or a couple of hours rather a day, spend time with your children, to eat dinner, do something mentally to free you from work. It's just not PTO with me. It's like knowing when to shut it down. That's what it is with me. You work something, knowing when to shut it down. Ain't got nothing to do with my PTO. Ain't got everything to do with me not being consumed with work. You're gonna have your times where it's like, I'm having a busy week this week. Sometimes you're doing it to get ahead. Sometimes you're doing it because you got to get done.
Got the state walk in the building.
State walk in the
State
building.
come
That ain't work life. That's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
That's a different dynamic. But yeah, that's what I'm just saying. It's like, and it also depends on seasons too. Because like, let's say for instance you got a job, but during the holidays, they pick up. Like you walk in Walmart, you got all these packages and everything. They got overtime for days. They pick up. But you still gotta have some. I don't think it revolves around PTO, and I don't think it.
I think so. How involved did you guys have your family or like your significant others or whatever? Like how involved are they in you guys planning your life as far as work-life balance?
My job don't it doesn't bleed over into my personal life. At least I don't allow it to. Once I leave work, I have my emails on my phone, but I don't really. I check my emails for not just for work. I just check them all the time because I hate notifications. So I check it all the time, and if there's a work email in there, I may read it, but I won't put much thought into it. I was like, nah, I'm gonna just get to that in the morning when I get to work. Like I don't try to let my work life dictate my time at home. So with that being said, she don't really have any input because I don't work at home.
Right.
Unless I'm working from home.
Right.
Then it's like,
It's harder.
it is.
Yeah.
So
I cannot work remote.
It's
It's harder.
That's a different beast, bro.
You don't know how to shut it down, and
Yeah,
you
I
have
don't-
access to certain things.
yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
be in a work setting.
You get what
I
I'm
can't.
saying?
Even if I work from home, I got to be in my office.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't differentiate.
Right.
I just
You know?
Yeah.
I gotta be like in a setting. I cannot differentiate.
But does the office have you trained like that?
Nah, it's just me in general.
Does you in general? You sure?
It's me in general. I don't know. Whatever job I'm doing, I have to be there and hands on with it. I can't be behind the screen. Although I am behind the screen at work sometimes. I can't be behind the screen at home.
So yours is more so like a lot of physical. I have to like actually use.
Yeah.
versus-
That could go hand in hand with how you learn too.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very true.
it is.
Yeah.
It does.
I learned a lot working while I'm working. I got the freedom to get up if I get up and go do something, or like I'm not locked down. But I don't know, at the same time it's just like I don't want to be on a computer and hear and then I'm like and then I'm all off, and then I hear the TV like ESPN on, and I'm like,
Right.
But see,
Like,
but
I
those are different. That's different. Like the child, yes, but like ESPN, why you got it on? If you know that that's a challenge for you to be at the crib, those are things that be fixed easily. But like what you said about coming home from work, like once you leave, like you left the facility. It's not like you got to come back to the facility to do anything. So like the work-life balance there is once you leave, you at the crib. You might not take your computer, and you with your kids, your wife. Maybe y'all go to the park. do
That's a
whatever.
good feeling. I don't know that
Saying?
feeling.
But if you at the crib, right, and you got access to your computer or another computer, or you just sitting there chilling because you're in the comfort of your own environment, you end up working longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? You end up doing more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You end up doing more because you're in the comfort of your own home. You don't eat well sometimes.
Right.
And that could be detrimental depending on who you are, you know. So that's why for me it's like it's not PTO, it's not like mental health day, it's none of that. It's more so how do you manage your time, take control of you and yourself and your family and your routine through the day. If it takes you getting up early, then you gotta get up early to have some time to yourself. Cause that's why I have time to myself. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like get up early so I can have some time to myself, because I know at nighttime, kids, it's just not the same, bro.
See, the thing about me, I stay up late. That's my early.
Dang, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like when everybody sleep, that's my oh my god,
That's my zen, bro.
golden. I just be sitting there like,
That's
what do I
it.
do?
See, that
Like,
used
oh
to
my god, what do I do?
that used to be my thing, especially during the pandemic, because I'm just up trying to figure things out. But I realized my body wasn't at its freshest point during that time. So if I just wake up early, I'm at my best.
Yeah.
That's when I'm at my best mentally and everything. I got some rest. I'm good. I get up, meditate, pray, whatever the case may be, read, and then I'm on about my day. I've already knocked out things for the day, so that when it's time to settle down, I can tolerate like what's going on at night better.
Yeah.
But it's like in my household, 90% of the time, everybody in one room.
Yeah.
If the study,
Yeah.
the master, it's like y'all can't be on your own, but it's everywhere. So it's like that morning piece is vital, in my opinion. To me, it's vital. But that's the work-life balance. To me, it's like how do you take control of the day, take control of yourself, take control of the moment, because it's your life. It's your life. You cannot let work or somebody else dictate how you want to live.
And I'm gonna piggyback off that. And sometimes when I'm at work, man, and I'm just feeling, over it, and my anxiety is creeping up, and I'm just not feeling it. And I thank God that I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to, if I want to leave, I can leave and work from home. And I've done that, and like it has done a lot for my mental health, a lot for my anxiety.
That's cool.
Because it's like I can't sit here and just like let it pound me to death.
Right.
I have to go, and I don't have to give them reason like, bro, I'm done for the day. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and I peace out. And I thank God that I had the opportunity to do that.
Right.
Because without that,
Losing it.
I wouldn't be. I'll be a different monster at home.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, so to speak. I just wouldn't be Trav, bro.
Hey,
Right.
So
And that's my hardest thing, Trav. And I'm gonna kind of hop off of that.
Okay.
Is being able to turn it off. And with my business and everything that I do, or my career or whatever, there really isn't no turning off, right? Once I leave a facility or whatever, I come home, I'm still responsible, right?
Yeah.
So there's really no disconnect. So I have to remember that when I come home,
Yeah.
that in that moment, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a son,
and I'm gonna
and I'm a friend.
I struggle.
Right?
You know what? I struggle with that. It's
Yeah.
like I'm so like beat down, and don't forget your thought that when I get home, bro, I just need I need a little bit of time to
Right.
gather myself.
Right.
And I don't get that. I got 4 kids.
Right.
I don't get that. And my wife has been with them all day, and I have to relieve her, and
Yeah.
I have to realize that that's what I need to do.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, nah, it's crazy because like I come home like, and my mom may like call me like an hour or so after I'm home. She's like, "Why do you still have dress codes on?" I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm just still in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Still in that mindset. So trying to find that release. Being able to. That's one thing we talk about. Like, we're gonna start taking walks in the evening just so we can like disconnect. Leave phones at the house. I'll call you back. Give me 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just to separate myself, because you got to have that balance. So, one thing that I ask myself, and I've been asking other people too, like other millennials, like us, is it okay to be transparent, like upfront with your job about your quote unquote like requirements for work-life balance? Like how comfortable did you guys feel, talking to your company or whatever and say, hey, this is what I got going on. These are my boundaries.
I'm comfortable.
Don't push
I'm
it.
comfortable.
It's my life.
Right. I'm
my
comfortable,
life.
For
man.
me, I feel very comfortable.
Same.
I feel very comfortable.
So what makes you feel like, what makes you that confident?
I hate to toot my own horn, but I'm great at what I do.
Okay.
I'm really
Right.
good at what I do.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
If I were to come and say, hey, I need this, he would understand.
And
Cause I'm like at the same time I'm like, but there's a he knows it's for the betterment of me
right.
and the company at the same time.
Right.
I'm not just gonna go out here acting crazy, but I'm great at what I do. So
But see,
I'm
this
gonna
was-
give you all of me, but I just need this little bit of time. Man.
But it's simple for me though. 'Cause it's like then if you don't value me as like a human,
Right.
basic needs,
Right.
then this has become a slave.
See,
Because now
what's
I'm a
that?
slave.
Basic needs.
Basic
This is
needs.
basic. Hey, I'm mentally not right today. You still gonna work?
huh?
You don't value me.
Hey, can you add?
You don't value me today.
That's right.
Huh?
Right.
I'm just saying. It's
No,
like,
that's real.
It's like it's slave. I'm sorry.
I think my biggest thing is like, if we look at our parents, their parents, the whole mentality of okay, you just shut up and listen and you deal with it, right? Those days are over.
Yes.
Because of is it because of social media?
It's a lot of factors. Social
factors.
media,
It's a lot of factors.
mental health and the importance or the lack thereof.
It's just-
And I think the biggest thing is, I think our generation knows our worth. Like what Cam just said.
Yeah.
Cam knows his worth.
Because social media though.
What do you think? Like
Because you guys
can
see a lot
it.
of other people talking about it and doing it for you to be comfortable to think like that.
That's true. That's true.
You
But
get what I'm saying?
even with social media though, like even at one point in my career, I had people telling me like, "Oh, you're really good at what you do. I appreciate what you do. You're killing it. You're a young, you're a forerunner in North Carolina in what you do. You right? I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I'm like, no, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. I kept putting myself down. I kept feeling like I wasn't worthy of the next opportunity or the better opportunity. Right? I kept telling myself that. And then at some point, say what?
But why?
Just myself, just my way of thinking. Right?
Okay.
All right. And I know what you're getting. You like,
Just
but
saying.
social media.
But you ain't seen nobody.
Right?
You don't see it though.
No, you don't see it. But I think what it took was I think it took me becoming uncomfortable and putting myself in a situation where I was uncomfortable, and to see that actually, I should value myself a lot more. Like early in my career, I didn't really value myself. I didn't really value, how good of an administrator I was, right? And then it took me kind of getting or becoming uncomfortable to understand like what my true value is. So I think, like Cam mentioned earlier, our generation, we kind of know what maybe it's social media. We know what our value is earlier in our careers, and that's good for us, but it's also dangerous, right? Yeah. It's dangerous for companies because, you're not, the old ways of thinking, can't think that way no more.
I think of it like this, like when you first getting a job, you're trying to work to impress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this stage of my career, I feel like I put in the work because I want to be great at what I do. Like I want to be good, so I don't see nothing wrong with viewing it as a partnership. I'm doing something for you.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I'm giving you my time, my effort, my energy. You giving me currency.
In exchange.
It's a partnership.
Right.
That's the way I view it.
That's a good point.
That's a bar.
That's a bar.
I don't know if other people feel the same way. That's like that. I don't know. They're struggling to find a job. When they finally get one, they don't want to lose it. They feel like a slave. They not gonna view it like that.
You said what again now?
Like I don't know if they view it like, dang, I gotta keep this job. So then the mentality is you feel like a slave. Like, right. Dang, I can't, right. I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm gonna give you all I got. I'm gonna try to be the greatest.
Right. That's being confident in yourself.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you're fairly treated?
You
feel like you're fairly treated at work?
Yeah.
Well, that's why you feel that way. Because some people don't feel like they're fairly treated, but they also know they're an adult. They got a responsibility. They got a mouth to feed, so you just can't make an irrational decision. You know what I mean? It's like,
but I think companies know that too.
They know it
to a certain extent. They know the details of it. You got this amount of kids, you're married, you got this going on, so they know you ain't gonna do nothing stupid.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I think that's not cool. Right? And because it's not cool when you take advantage of it. It's not.
It's not.
What? People do that. They're like,
I know.
Quit? He ain't gonna quit.
He gonna quit.
He ain't gonna quit.
He need this. He need this.
Got 3-4 kids.
Can't afford
Tell him to work 2 more hours.
I'll work 2 more hours.
He need it.
Talk to him tomorrow. He need it. Right. He need it. But I think what's like you said, it's scary because we don't have to put up with that anymore. And I feel like when you know your worth, that's the most dangerous thing in the world, right? And I think it took me understanding what my worth is to know that it's not about the money, it's about the peace of mind, And it's like, your mental health, being able to have good work-life balance, being able to separate yourself, being able to continue to grow as a man, and continue to grow as a human being while still being there for your family, still being a husband, still being a father, still being a brother, still being a friend. I think that, understanding that now is one of the most, precious things that we can all do.
I know one thing that I cherish too, that whenever I started my current job, I wasn't well versed in that field. I had to learn a lot of things. And I got to the point where sometimes I felt, I don't want to say worthless, but not as important. Because I'm learning. And I think a lot of people that start new jobs that they don't know, they feel less, And I think one thing that I pride myself on is building relationships quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
personal
Long
relationships
way.
quickly.
That's important.
And that's what helps me feel comfortable with leaving work early or taking days off,
Right.
and they don't mind it. You know what I mean? Because of that relationship that we built. You know, and I don't go out and overshare, but I let them inside of what's going on so they can understand. Like, if I'm leaving work early, they have an idea. If I don't say nothing, they have an idea. Like, okay, well, he has a big family.
Right.
A lot of things going on. It could be anything. He'll let us know. So, I
building
pride
that
myself
trust.
on that, man. Just building relationships, man.
Building
Like,
relationships and trust.
don't feel like you have to be the greatest worker, man. Just build relationships, bro.
Yeah, I think if you're transparent up front, you're like, look,
Yeah.
this is a priority to me.
Yeah.
This is my barrier. This is where I'll draw the line. I'm gonna give you 110%, right? Not more so because of my obligation to the job or the company or whatever. It's more so my obligation to myself, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's when you internalize it because you want to be great. Whatever it is that you do, you want to be the great. You want to be the best. Then I'm gonna give you my 110% because personally, I want to be the best of whatever I'm doing, right?
Yep.
And ultimately, your company, your business, or whatever, you're gonna reap the benefit of that.
Yeah.
Because
I feel
in the
like
process
you
of that,
you got to think that way. If
you got to think that way, and it's nothing wrong with thinking that way. But some people call you cocky. Oh, this new way of these young people, they have no idea. They ain't willing to put in the work. They ain't willing to do. No, we are.
But I want some incentives.
But I won't. Yeah, but those days are not. Those days are no longer here.
I do think we suffer from immediate gratification, though.
We do. We do.
I think that's how
We need to see it right now.
see it right now. There is a
wanna
weakness that
feel
we
it.
have.
Yeah.
I want to touch it.
Immediate gratification is our weakness. But I do think we just want to feel valued
Right.
and heard.
Right. And I feel like we have access to so many different platforms to see what our opportunities are.
Yes.
So I think that changes the ball game too.
Absolutely.
And if you have a company that doesn't understand that, like you willing to hire a younger person, and you don't think the minute whatever promise you made to them doesn't go through, or you upset them or whatever, that they don't have access to find the next opportunity.
Another thing too.
We're competitor.
Another thing too.
Right.
You come into that interview with these low numbers. They know how to go out there and find.
Oh yeah,
what
you
they
can
should be
find
getting
what
paid.
they should be getting paid.
Come
right.
on now.
Right.
I'm not playing at an MVP caliber for you to give me a rookie contract.
Ooh.
I ain't finna do it.
Now that was a bar.
That's a bar.
I'm not gonna
Bar.
do it. Nope.
But their comeback could be, well, I see some of your experience, but you might not have experience in how we do it on this level or this type of business. Why should I give you MVP? Even though your numbers say that, and you've done it in that market, what about this market?
That's fine. Joe Schmo around the corner.
Right. Just
Joe Schmo
around
around
the corner.
Hey, repeat that real.
So what I'm saying is, so let's say you have experience, right? Let's say you have it.
Go ahead. Because I know what. Go ahead.
Try about to get them.
You have some.
I'm gonna button you up. What's up?
You have some companies to where, like, they see the experience that you have, and it's clear that you can do a certain job, right?
Yeah.
But maybe not in that type of market. You get what I'm saying?
Is that what Denver said to Russell?
Broncos country, let's ride.
Stop the tape.
Oh no, he didn't.
No, because no. Listen. The reason why I say this is because we had this conversation about what's going on with Russell and what the ownership was thinking of signing Russell coming off of his Seattle Seahawks success, and we were arguing about they expect him to be as successful in their market team as he was with Seattle. So that's why I brought that up.
But it's still slightly different, though.
Explain.
It's different.
Too much is given, much is expected.
Really?
A bar.
A bar.
A bar.
What you making right now? You think you're worth more than that, right? But you took less because why?
Whoa.
No. Exactly. Talk to me.
Hold on now.
Talk to me.
Hold on now.
Because when they start talking, to have these rebuttals, in your mind, you make some decisions about like what's going on. Like, you know what? That kind of, I mean, I get it, right? But that's different. Russell was different. It's still within football. Hold on. That's the same job. Same job, just a different
So
team.
we weren't talking about Cam succeeding in one market and the next employer saying, "Can you do the same thing in ours?"
No, what I'm saying is, it's not like Russell was working as the head of technology, trying to come over here to be the head of finance.
What?
With that
What
same,
was this example?
what you mean?
Cam, what did you say?
He
I
said,
basically
Ricky,
said-
he said, I don't want a rookie contract if I'm giving you MVP numbers, right?
We're not changing.
Right.
We're not changing.
Meaning, I ain't gonna pay you an MVP contract and you give me rookie numbers.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is the reason why I think the dynamics are different is because the business model and how they do it. You still have to learn some things over there, right?
Oh,
In a different way.
you
I don't know, man.
you got 260 some million reasons to learn it, and I already have it learned.
Still
Maybe
football.
need time.
They didn't give you that much money to learn.
Still in football.
They give you that much money to produce
You know what? You know what I think?
and win
it
ball
needs?
games.
That's
You know-
fair.
Hey,
That's
that's
fair,
fair.
right?
That's fair.
hold on.
That's fair.
Hold on.
They're going,
fair.
we'll give you 260 million. We'll give you about 2-3 years to learn it.
But would that be his responsibility to sell that? You get what I'm saying? Like, listen, I could produce this. I had to sell.
No, it's not. It wouldn't be his responsibility to sell it.
Why?
Because his resume sells it for him.
So you mean to tell me Truman Vereen walking to an interview? You ain't my resume. Here you go. What I need to talk for? Look at my resume.
My resume.
wait, time out. Is that
Listen,
what you said?
my resume and my relationships.
So you don't have to say nothing.
Don't really. No, I don't really know.
So Russell has to say nothing.
No, he shouldn't.
You
No.
said that they signed him off hope, right? But
I'm gonna say this.
No, they
Hold on,
didn't.
hold on,
No,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no.
let me-
He trying to walk me into something right now. Y'all see that, right?
I'ma say
He
this.
trying to
There's
walk.
two
I ain't
different
talking. They
dynamics,
didn't.
though.
They didn't
I
sign
think
him off no hope.
There's two different dynamics.
it is.
It's a difference when you've exceeded your current contract, and then they pay you based off of what they think you're gonna do.
Got you. But Truman said he don't have to talk.
Look, y'all. I am not.
Truman said, my resume and my relationship speak
film
for
speak.
themselves. Well, hold on, time out. Why are we talking? My relationship and my resume speaks for itself. Google me. That's what you said.
And you can't.
Right.
Right.
But you've spoken. And you talked plenty of those
I
interviews.
can give you my resume.
So-
I can give. Listen. I can give you my resume. I can give you my references. The rest is history.
You're not sitting up in them interviews ain't talking. You think there's other people that's round the corner. You think you're the only one for that job? Truman, tell us why. My resume, that's why. I ain't got to do no talking. Are we done? So I can walk out?
So the fact that you wanted to interview anyway
That's good.
lets me know you were interested in it. I don't have to sell myself.
Fact. But what I'm saying is, no disrespect. A lot of Russells on the market. We're going to pay you. We're going to hope that you can name him.
They're not paying him off a hope.
You just. They ain't
I
paying
did
him
not
off
say
hope.
that. They're not paying him off
They
a
ain't paying him
hope.
off hope.
Said that.
Oh,
Can't
my.
say that.
He
They're
just
not paying
can't-
him off a hope.
All three of y'all were saying that
They
yesterday.
paying that man off
Oh,
of
they're
what he
paying him
previously done.
what he's done and hoping they he do the
I
same
think they're
thing in
looking
their
at the
market.
resume and saying,
That can translate over
"All right,
here.
come on,
Did he have
we
to
gonna
talk?
give you this."
Do you think he had to talk a lot? That's all.
No,
Thank you.
I don't
You
think.
had to talk. It's different. You still gotta sell while you truly can produce, even if it's slightly different. Your resume, everything, but you got like 10 other people with that resume too. Seriously, you still gotta sell while Truman is the great fit for this. It's a different dynamic. You know that. You know that. It's
For
a
the
different
record.
dynamic.
For
Hold
the
on.
record.
Shit on his resume.
For the record, I wasn't trying to go that deep. Like my analogy was surface level, guys.
We was up here. We were scraping the surface.
I was just
So the work-life balance is that, hey, listen, if you want me to produce and take a little bit of my work-life balance from me, I need this number. Otherwise, I'll take this number, and we'll still be good. So I get my work-life balance.
That's how I go.
I'm setting my priorities. Like, this is my priorities: my family, my mental health, and I like to travel. I have to do these things to be able to produce here at work. I'm being transparent with you. I'm not coming here to sell you.
Right.
Crazy.
Like, and this could be, you can look at it in multiple ways. When I was in undergrad, someone told me, your undergrad career is like a triangle, right? So you got your education, your degree, what you're studying for. You've got whatever else you do, like organization-wise, like, marching band, athletics, whatever, fraternities, whatever. And then over here, you got social life, right? So, friends, doing things like that. So, at any point, there's connection between, these things. So it's like, usually most people fall within one line of those things. It's either education, fraternity, athletics. You really don't have a social life. You either have fraternity, social life, education ain't a priority, you sit at the house. Or you got education, social life, you really don't have time for fraternities, organizations, volunteering, things like that. As adults, it's kind of the same thing. You got your work life, you got family, you got friends. How do you fall in the middle of that triangle and not on one of the sides of it?
Well, I say, hey, friends. I usually have friends that have similar things that I have. You have a family, so you know that if for some reason we don't talk for a week, you already understand what it is, right? Family is gonna be top priority, because I tell my friends this all the time, especially my homeboy. I'm like, look, if my family isn't good, it's not that I don't love you or anything. It's just that I'm not checking for you right now, because we ain't good.
Yeah.
I can't be out here helping you and then
Exactly.
we ain't. Like, you get what I'm saying?
That's a bar.
That's backwards.
Yeah.
That's backwards. So it's like, I gotta make sure we good. And if we're not good, then I'm here for a bit. Not over here. I'm here though when we're good. Now I can go over here and see if you good.
It's got to be like that.
It's got to be
Gotta
like
be.
that.
But you gotta have those boundaries in your relationships though.
Right.
Like, you can't be tiptoeing. Like, I'm gonna tell you what it is. This is what it is.
And I think
It's my contract.
Right.
So it's like,
I think, right now where we all are in life, our friendships, we put a lot of value on it. And, I don't want to be a part of a friendship where the value is based off of the quantity of time I spend with you.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I want it to be based off the, the quality of that time.
There you go.
Meaning I cannot talk to you for a week, 2 weeks. But when we talk, we're going to link, we're going to be good. Right?
Right.
Yep.
I ain't talked to you in a week, 2 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, nah.
I ain't gonna invite you to dinner. Nah. We'll need that, right? Too grown for that.
Too grown.
But
Too much going on for that.
it's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
So that's the balance.
It's the balance.
Set
You need it.
standards. These standards, right? Let your people in your corner know where you stand in life and how this is going to be as a relationship. If it's a job, you get a new job, you need to let them know what your priorities are.
Up
If
front.
you don't, you failed on that, because now you're coming up with stuff and they're like, well, why didn't you share this with us?
Right.
I'm setting that from the gate. This
the
is,
get-go.
and if you don't want me, I understand that.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: if you don't feel comfortable doing that early in your job, you shouldn't be there.
Shouldn't be there.
Yep.
Because you're gonna cause it's gonna be a train wreck,
Right.
down the line.
I want you to be as transparent with me as possible.
Absolutely. Stop.
Because if I truly care about developing or growing you,
Yep.
then I'm gonna be, completely into, hearing what you have to say, what makes you, what keeps you going, what motivates you, what are you passionate about, what do you love, what are your goals, what drives you, right?
Because that helps both sides.
Yeah, it helps
it helps
both
the
sides.
company and it helps
Right.
your employer.
Right. People who think
Employee.
outside the box are like, okay, Truman's great. I appreciate everything he does. I want to make sure that we can continue to allow him to be a part of our organization.
Yeah.
This is what he values. Let me be mindful of that when I ask this, or let me be mindful of that whenever we try to do this.
Exactly.
And what's crazy is our generation, we see that and we appreciate that.
Gotta produce though.
But the production is already there, or it's gonna be there. And if you wanted me, or if you didn't think I was producing before, you should have already told me. And if I'm currently producing and I'm doing a great job, and I see that you're one bit of considerate of what I have going on, I'm gonna produce 10 times more than what I did before.
Exactly.
Right?
Well,
Because I feel appreciated.
one bit for one bit, but I get what you're saying. Ain't gonna be no over. Compensate.
Speak for yourself.
I speak for myself, but I need that to be reciprocated. I ain't gonna be breaking my neck for 6 months and like, wait, man, here go a thank you letter. Hey, this ain't the same. This don't cost.
Hey, he got a point.
This ain't the same.
He got a point.
If there's a point in my
I
career,
just sold these products.
if there's a point in my career where I ever venture off into a new career, like that first interview is gonna be different from that second one. That first one, I'm trying to get in. Yeah, I do this, I do. The second one, this is my number. Impress me.
Well, you bold.
That's what it is. I know what I'm worth.
Yeah,
I know what I can do.
I like
What you gonna do for me?
You doing this interview virtual, or you gonna be in person?
Virtual.
Right. This
So,
be like,
hey.
you like this.
Hey, they be like, hey, Kim will be like, so this is my number.
They gonna slide it back.
They gonna look at it. They gonna look back at you. They gonna be like, well, sir, you gonna close the laptop? Hell, boy, he gonna be nervous as hell.
He gonna call back. Hey, I don't know what happened. The Wi-Fi, the call dropped.
It just went black.
Went black. Can we retry that again?
Did you
What
get
about the
it?
offer you said? Did
you get it? Did you get it?
Hold on.
Wait.
I just found a plot hole. If it's virtual, how you sliding the number?
Hey, look, like this. Did you see it?
He gonna be like, nah. He gonna be like, check your email.
I was sitting there.
Check the chat box.
Check the chat box.
Hey, they gonna cover the mic.
They gonna cut their camera off.
Right.
They gonna cut their camera off and mute it. They gonna be like, man, this is the
Man, end the call, bro. End the call, bro. This clown. We ain't paying him that.
They be like, 2 o'clock just ended early, guys. 2:30 coming up.
Hey,
Wrap it
bro.
up.
Hey, but for real, what y'all think Lamar did in that interview? When it was time for that big contract. What you
I'm
think
gonna say
Lamar
exactly what he did. Hey, I produced.
He did what I
Is that-
said.
Deshaun Watson ain't played, and he got that guarantee. I need that, please. Well, this is what we're gonna. I said I need all of it guaranteed. That conversation was short.
That meeting was all of 2 minutes.
That
All of
conversation
2
was
minutes.
short because it's simple. And look what he's doing. I mean, he might
said,
get MVP this year.
guaranteed.
Right.
Again,
Guaranteed.
His
They were
stock
like-
is going up.
Can we talk? They be like,
Facts.
That's crazy. And it's him. It's him. It ain't no median in between. None of that. None of the meetings or nothing. You ain't got no.
it's called knowing your worth, bro.
Hey,
That's that.
Dangerous. When you know your worth, it's dangerous.
Deshaun got his work-life balance.
Damn right.
I need mine too.
Oh,
Who you say?
who got work?
Deshaun got his work-life balance.
What's his last name? What's his last name? I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
Yeah, go ahead and end this.
This could get scary, guys.
Hold on, is that you going crazy?